The forbidden bond. The palace burned like a collapsing star. Walls shook, lights flickered, and smoke crawled across the crystal floor. Sergeant Marcus Drake moved through the chaos with his pulse rifle raised, breathing hard as echo after echo of explosions hit the ancient Velon structure. He had been trained for war, but not for this, not for a royal palace turning into a battleground in seconds. A diplomatic event. A simple security assignment. That was all it was supposed to be. Now, the United Earth forces were scattered. The humans were outnumbered. And Marcus was alone in a maze of glowing alien corridors that twisted like living veins under the floor. He pressed himself against a tall marble pillar as another blast shook the ground under his boots. Dust fell from the ceiling. Somewhere nearby, he heard alien energy blasters humming, their pitch soft and cruel compared to human weapons. He also heard screams, human and alien both. He tapped his comm. Alpha team respond. Anyone? Come on, pick up. Only static replied. He cursed under his breath. He had been thrown far from his squad when a ceiling collapsed behind him. Now he was inside the deeper parts of the palace, places humans were not allowed to enter. Strange blue symbols flowed like water across the walls. The temperature felt warmer here, almost like the palace itself breathed. Great, Marcus muttered. A maze of glowing walls. Perfect rescue mission. He tried 2 different hallways. Both ended in dead ends or strange floating staircases that looped up and twisted back down. Velon design was beautiful, but made no sense to him. Still, he pushed on, searching for any exit. He had to find his team. He had to get out. Then he heard it. A sound too soft for battle. A sound that cut through all the explosions. A weak breath. A dying breath. Marcus froze. His body reacted before his mind. Did every instinct in him sharpened. Someone was alive. Someone needed help. He followed the sound, rifle raised, ready for a trap. Smoke drifted across the floor like fog. A tall crystalline doorway slid open on its own as he approached, revealing a small chamber glowing with dim blue light. Inside, everything felt colder, silent, sacred. Shelves of crystal books lined the walls. Holographic symbols spun in the air. A desk was overturned, papers scattered like silver leaves. And beside the broken desk lay a woman not human. She was Velon. Her skin shimmered pale blue, marked with natural swirling lines that glowed faintly like stardust. Her long silver hair was tangled and dark with blood. A ceremonial dagger was buried deep in her side. Her fine robes were torn, soaked red. Marcus rushed to her, without thinking. Training overrode fear. Then her eyes opened bright violet, full of pain and fading light. "A human soldier," she whispered. "You should not be here." "Neither should you," Marcus said, already kneeling beside her. "You're hurt bad. Hold still." She tried to push his hands away. "Leave me. The separatists, they came for me. You must escape before." "Not happening," he said firmly. "My job is to save lives. And you're still breathing." Her breath hitched in pain. "You don't understand. I am Princess Sira of House Aerith. If you fail, both our people will bleed." Marcus hesitated for 1 second. The princess? The emperor's daughter? If she died? No. He couldn't think about that now. "What I understand," he said. Voice steady. "Is that pulling out this dagger will make you bleed out fast. You need a transfusion." She shook her head weakly. "Impossible. No Velon medics are here. My people are gone. My blood is failing." Marcus checked the wound. The blade was dangerously placed. Remove it, and she might die instantly. Leave it, and she'd die slowly. "Sira," he said softly, "can your species use human blood, even for emergencies?" She stared at him with wide, shocked eyes. "You would give me your blood? If it will save you, yes." She closed her eyes for a moment. Something deep inside her face showed fear not of dying, but of something else. "You don't know what you offer," she whispered. "A blood bond is not simple. Our bodies can take human blood, but the connection it creates is powerful. You may feel what I feel. You may be tied to me. You may not leave." Marcus didn't stop. He already set up his emergency injector kit. "Better tied to you than letting you die." Sira let out a shaky, pained laugh. "Humans, always reckless, always brave." He removed the dagger in one smooth motion. Sira gasped, her whole body arching in pain. Blood poured out too fast. Marcus pressed the injector to his own arm. His blood flowed into the tube, glowing faint red as it rushed into her veins. The chamber lights suddenly brightened. The walls shimmered, symbols on the floor awakened. Sira's violet eyes snapped open, glowing hot like twin stars. Marcus felt a shock run through his chest, like someone reached inside him and found his heartbeat. The princess grabbed his wrist, her grip impossibly strong. "It has begun," she whispered, voice trembling. "Human, do you feel it?" Marcus felt something warm spread through his body. Not pain, not fear, but a strange pull, a connection, a bond. She whispered slowly, almost breathless, "You are linked to me now, and I will not let you go." At that exact moment, distant boots pounded through the hallway. Separatist soldiers were closing in, and they were coming for the princess, and for the human now bound to her by blood. A soldier the Empire now hunts. The air in the chamber thickened as the blood bond awakened. Marcus could feel Princess Sierra's pulse beating inside his own chest. Faint, weak, but unmistakably there. It was as if two heartbeats tried to share one rhythm. Every instinct in him screamed that something impossible had just happened, something that humans were never meant to feel. But there was no time to understand it. The pounding footsteps in the hallway grew louder. Sierra's fingers tightened around his wrist. Her eyes glowed with a strange mix of fear and determination. "They are coming," she whispered. "They will not allow you to live now that you carry my blood." Marcus didn't fully understand what she meant, but he pulled her up, supporting her weight. Her body felt fragile, but the bond gave her a strange energy, like she was drawing strength from him. Or perhaps he was giving it without even meaning to. "Move," Marcus said, raising his rifle toward the door. If they want trouble, they came to the right room. Sierra shook her head, her breath shallow. "You don't understand. They can sense me. The Separatists use old Velon tech that can track the wounded of royal blood. And now that your blood is inside me, they can sense you too." "Well," Marcus muttered. "That's fantastic." The door blasted open before he could say more. 3 Separatist fighters stormed in, their armor glowing with pulsing red patterns. They aimed their jagged alien rifles straight at Marcus. "There," one shouted. "The human. Kill him before the bond stabilizes." Marcus fired first. Years of combat training kicked in. His pulse rifle hummed with power as 2 enemies fell. The third dove behind a pillar, firing a crackling bolt of plasma that grazed Marcus's shoulder. He hissed in pain. But something strange happened. Sierra gasped and clutched her own shoulder. Marcus froze. "Wait, did you just feel that?" "Yes," she said, gripping his arm for balance. "The bond is stronger than I feared. Your pain moves to me. My life moves to you." "That's not ideal," Marcus muttered. Another blast hit the room, shaking the ceiling. Crystal shards rained down. Marcus grabbed Sierra, pulling her behind the overturned desk. "We need to get out of here," he said. "Now." She nodded weakly, pointing toward a hidden panel on the wall. "There is a servant passage there. It leads deeper under the palace. Hurry." Marcus shot the door control, and the panel slid open. Behind it, a dim hallway stretched downward, like the throat of some ancient creature. He carried Sierra, who leaned heavily against him. Even with the bond giving her strength, she was fading. The hallway vibrated. Distant metal boots echoed behind them. "They're following," Marcus said. "They will not stop," Sierra whispered. "To them, the bond you created is more dangerous than any weapon." Marcus frowned. "Why? What does this bond mean to your people?" Sierra looked up at him, her glowing violet eyes reflecting torchlight from the tunnel. "A blood bond is sacred. It ties 2 lives, 2 souls. Among the Velon, it is only done between family or between fated partners." Marcus nearly tripped. "Fated? What?" She looked away, as if embarrassed. "It does not matter. The bond is forming, whether we accept it or not. And once formed, I cannot live if you die, and you cannot live if I die." Marcus swallowed hard. "So if they kill me, I die with you," she whispered. "Instantly. Great. Just perfect." They reached a fork in the tunnel. Before Sierra could speak, Marcus felt a sudden burning sensation in his chest. Not pain, something else. A pull, a direction. "This way," he said, pointing left. Sierra blinked in surprise. You felt that?" "Yeah, what was it?" "The bond guiding you." She paused, awe spreading across her face. "Humans should not feel it this early. Your will is strong." Marcus didn't know what to say, so he kept moving. As they reached a massive underground chamber, the ground glowed with ancient runes. The air felt old, heavy, and powerful. Sierra's breath caught. "This place," she murmured. "This is the Hall of Prophecy. Only royal blood can enter." "And can?" Marcus raised a brow. "Well, apparently I count now." Before Sierra could answer, the runes brightened under Marcus's boots. A circular tablet rose from the floor, covered in glowing symbols. Sierra stared at it, her face draining of color. "This cannot be," she whispered. "What does it say?" Marcus asked. She reached out trembling fingers and touched the tablet. The symbols shifted, rearranging into a new pattern. "A human bearer will rise," she read aloud. "A soldier of 2 worlds. His blood will awaken the princess. Their bond will shape the future throne." Marcus stared at her. "You're telling me this thing predicted us?" "Yes," she whispered. Centuries before you were born. He didn't have time to process it. Voices echoed behind them. Separatists had reached the chamber, their red armor glowing in the dark like angry embers. Marcus raised his rifle. Sierra grabbed his hand. You cannot fight them alone, she said. I'm not alone, Marcus replied. We fight together now. The separatists charged, and as Marcus aimed, he felt something new surge through him: strength, clarity, speed. The bond wasn't just linking them. It was changing him. The princess who won't let him go. The chamber trembled as separatist fighters stormed toward Marcus and Sierra. Their glowing red armor lit up the dark, ancient hall like burning coals scattered across stone. Energy rifles crackled with lethal power. Marcus positioned himself in front of Sierra, raising his rifle, but something felt different. His heart beat in a strange rhythm, fast and bright, almost as if a second heartbeat pulsed inside him. And then it happened. When the first separatist fired, Marcus felt a warm surge through his arms. His reaction time sharpened. The world slowed. His vision expanded in a strange way. He sensed the enemy's movement before he saw it. He didn't think. He moved. A perfect sidestep. A perfect countershot. The bolt struck the separatist directly, sending him crashing into the glowing ruins. Sierra gasped behind him. Marcus, the bond. It's giving you my reflexes, my awareness. Remind me to send a thank you card to your biology later, Marcus muttered. Firing again. 2 more separatists fell, but the third one ducked behind a pillar and shouted, Do not hit the princess. Kill the human, break the bond before it stabilizes. Marcus fired another quick burst. Kozin. The pillar shattered, dropping heavy shards onto the separatist. Silence followed. Dust floated in the air like pale ash. Marcus lowered his rifle slowly. His hands trembled not from fear, but from the strange new energy racing through his body. Sierra stepped beside him, her legs shaky, but her eyes glowing brighter than before. Your speed? Your aim? That was not normal human ability. Our bond is merging our strengths. My energy flows into you. Marcus wiped sweat from his forehead. Good to know. Just wish I had a manual for this. Sierra almost smiled, but her expression tightened quickly. We must move. If the separatists found us here, then more will follow. And soon the Empire will too. Marcus frowned. Why would your own people chase you? Because of you, she said quietly. Because of us now. He didn't understand until she placed her hand on her chest and whispered, Royal blood cannot be shared without meaning. You offered your blood to save me. And now, the Empire believes you claim a bond that belongs only to Velon destiny. Marcus stared at her. I didn't claim anything. I was trying to keep you alive. Yes, she replied. And that is exactly why they will fear you. Before Marcus could respond, a burning pain shot through his shoulder. Not from a new injury, it was the wound Sierra had taken earlier. She staggered at the same moment, nearly falling. Marcus caught her. What's happening? The wound. It echoes through the bond, she whispered. When I weaken, you feel it. When you hurt, I feel it. Marcus's stomach tightened. So if one of us dies, the other follows, she finished softly. He didn't speak. He only tightened his grip on her arm. She looked up at him, fear flickering behind her bright violet eyes. We cannot be separated now, she said. Not by distance, not by fate, not by war. Marcus swallowed hard. Then we stick together. They moved deeper into the ancient hall. The runes changed color as they passed, sensing the bond inside them. Blue turned to gold. Gold turned to white. Sierra explained it in a soft voice. Weak but steady. These runes measure the strength of royal blood. They react to power, to destiny. Marcus raised an eyebrow. They're reacting to me. Yes, she said, voice trembling. That is why the Empire will panic. Never in our history has a human carried royal resonance. You are rewriting our laws simply by breathing. Before Marcus could absorb that, a deep boom echoed above them. Dust fell from the ceiling. Sierra's pupils narrowed. They're using breaching cannons, she said. Both the Empire and the Separatists want one thing. Let me guess, Marcus said. Us. Sierra nodded. Or more exactly, the bond. Marcus clenched his jaw. Then we need to get out of these tunnels. 8. No, she said quickly, gripping his wrist. We must go deeper. Deeper? Into what? She pointed toward a dark passage illuminated by slowly pulsing light. Into the core hole. It is where ancient Velon energy lives. The bond is unstable now, but in the core, it can either stabilize or break entirely. Marcus exhaled slowly. And if it breaks? Sierra held his gaze. One of us will die. Maybe both. And if it stabilizes, her voice softened, then our lives, our hearts, our paths, they will become one. Marcus blinked. One? What is that even? A violent shake cut him off. The ceiling cracked. Voices thundered from behind them. Boots slammed into the stone floor. They're close, Marcus said. Yes, Sierra whispered. And if they catch us before we reach the core, they will tear the bond apart by force. Which means, you die, I die. The prophecy ends. Marcus grabbed her hand. Then we run. They sprinted through the tunnels. Sierra leaned heavily against him, but each time she stumbled, he felt her pain echo in his body, and he pushed harder. Because he wasn't just running to save her, he was running to save himself too. They reached a massive door glowing with white light. The core, Sierra said breathlessly. Open it. Marcus touched the door. It didn't just open. It exploded with light. Sierra gasped. Marcus staggered. The bond pulsed stronger than ever before. Behind them, soldiers shouted as they closed in. And in front of them, the glowing doorway led into a chamber that could change everything or destroy them both. Chosen by alien destiny. Light swallowed Marcus and Sierra the moment they stepped through the core doorway. It wasn't normal light. Not warm, not cold, not gentle. It felt alive. It moved like a river made of stars, swirling around their bodies, bending the air with ancient power. Marcus shielded his eyes, but the glow seemed to seep through his skin anyway, illuminating the veins in his arms with a faint golden shimmer. Sierra gasped softly. The core hall, the heart of Velon power. Only royal blood can enter. And yet, Marcus finished for her, staring at his glowing hands. I'm standing here. No human ever has, she whispered. Not in 10,000 years. The chamber stretched endlessly in all directions, shaped like a massive sphere, with rings of floating crystal platforms spinning silently around a central pedestal. On the pedestal lay a strange object, a crystal sphere with swirling silver inside, beating like a heart. The air hummed with energy. I feel something, Marcus said, touching his chest. Like it's calling me. Sierra turned toward him, her face glowing with that soft, haunting light. The core reacts only to destiny. If it calls you, then the bond was never an accident. Before Marcus could reply, a massive explosion shook the doorway behind them. Voices echoed. Armor clanked. The separatists had arrived, and worse, they weren't alone. Marcus raised his rifle and took a step back, pulling Sierra behind him. The first figures through the shattered doorway were separatists in red armor. But behind them came a second group, tall, imposing soldiers in shimmering silver armor carrying imperial banners. The Emperor's personal guard. 2 armies. One goal. Capture the princess. Kill the human. Both sides froze when they saw Marcus and Sierra standing together inside the glowing chamber. A separatist commander pointed. There, the blood-bearer. Kill him now, before the bond completes. An imperial guard shouted just as loudly. Human, step away from the princess. You have no right to stand with royal blood. Marcus raised his rifle. You all have terrible timing. Sarah stepped forward, ignoring her trembling legs, and raised her voice surprisingly strong. Stop. None of you will touch him. Her words echoed through the chamber, amplified by the core's energy. Both armies hesitated. Even the humming crystals above seemed to pause. A silver-armored general lowered his weapon. Your Highness, the human has violated sacred law. His blood inside you is forbidden. He must be taken for cleansing. Marcus scowled. I'm sorry, what? Cleansing? The general continued, without looking at him. You know the rule. The royal bloodline must remain pure. A bond with a human is my choice, Sierra said sharply. The chamber fell silent. Even Marcus stared at her. The general struggled for words. Princess, that is not possible. You would never. Yet I did, Sierra said. He saved my life. He gave me his blood when none of you were here to protect me. The bond formed by destiny, not by rule. The separatist commander laughed. Destiny? No. Desperation. He is a threat to us all. Human blood mixed with royal blood creates instability. If the bond grows stronger, the core itself will react, and the throne may shift. Marcus frowned. Shift? What does that mean? Sierra lowered her gaze. It means the power of the throne could choose a new heir. The general stepped forward. Your Highness, are you saying the core is responding to the human as if he carries royal resonance? Sierra looked at Marcus, eyes full of something deep and conflicted. Yes. Gasps filled the chamber. The separatist commander snarled. Then we must kill him now. He raised his weapon. Before Marcus could fire, a blinding surge of energy burst from the floor beneath him. The core's heartbeat pulsed violently. Boom, sending a shockwave across the room. The army stumbled. Marcus staggered back. Sarah grabbed his hand. The core's voice, or something like a voice, whispered through the chamber, in a humming vibration that shook their bones. Blood recognized. Bond confirmed. Destiny fused. The crystal sphere on the pedestal shattered open, sending swirling threads of silver light toward Marcus and Sierra. Marcus felt his breath catch. The light wrapped around him like chains made of starlight. Sierra's body glowed brighter than ever, her veins shimmering. The core spoke again. The bearer and the princess are one. The imperial general, fell to his knees in shock. Impossible. The core accepts him. The separatist commander screamed. Then he must die. Kill him before the bond becomes permanent. Dozens of weapons pointed at Marcus. Marcus raised his rifle, but knew he couldn't shoot them all. Sierra stepped in front of him. Listen, she shouted, voice trembling with raw power. If he dies, I die, the core made it law. Marcus grabbed her shoulder. You don't have to protect me. She turned, her eyes burning with emotion. I must. I cannot lose you, not now. The chamber froze. Even the soldiers stared in disbelief. The separatist commander growled. Then we kill you both. He aimed. Marcus tensed. Sierra closed her eyes. And then the biggest twist yet. The core exploded upward in a column of white fire. The soldiers were thrown back. Marcus fell to one knee, gripping Sierra tightly. Her body glowed like molten silver. The bond vibrated so strongly, he could feel her heartbeat inside his skull. She gasped. Marcus, something is awakening inside me. What is it? He asked. She opened her eyes, now glowing pure white. The blood bond is unlocking my ancestral power. The Imperial Guard stared in awe. She is ascending. The separatist commander backed away in fear. No, she cannot reach that form. Kill them now. He charged forward. Marcus raised his rifle, but the core's power surged, throwing the commander back with a blast of light. Marcus stared at Sierra, stunned. Princess, what's happening to you? She trembled, clutching Marcus's hand. I don't know. But whatever it is. Her voice shook, cracking with emotion. It is because of you. The ceremony of no return. The core hall pulsed like a giant beating heart. Silver-white energy spiraled around Marcus and Sierra, lifting their hair, shaking the air, bending the floating crystal platforms above them. Every soldier, separatist and imperial alike, froze in stunned silence as the princess's body glowed brighter and brighter, her veins burning with ancient light. Marcus held her steady, feeling every wave of power flood through the bond. Each pulse made his chest tighten, his breath quicken, his bones hum. Sierra, talk to me. What's happening? Her glowing eyes turned toward him, full of awe and fear. The bond woke something in my blood. Something old. Something meant only for queens. Marcus blinked. Queens. She nodded weakly. My ancestors power the celestial veins. It is the strength that chooses the true ruler of our people. But it awakens only when the royal line is in danger, or when destiny demands a new future. That's great, Marcus muttered, holding her trembling body. But you look like you're about to explode. She almost laughed, but the sound broke into a cry as another surge hit her. The Imperial General staggered upright, pointing at her in shock. She is ascending. The princess has begun the rite of the celestial veins. But a human triggered it? That is forbidden. The separatist commander snarled back. Forbidden or not, if she completes the rite, she becomes stronger than the Emperor. Stronger than any of us. We must kill her and the human now. He raised his weapon, but before he could fire, the core unleashed a burst of energy that hurled him across the room like a broken doll. Marcus moved in front of Sierra again, raising his rifle. Nobody touches her. But Sierra grabbed his arm, her grip trembling. Marcus, we cannot stay here. The core is reacting too strongly. If we do not complete the bond properly, it will consume us. Complete it, he repeated. How? Her voice dropped to a whisper, filled with dread. The binding ceremony. Marcus's heartbeat stumbled. And that is, it stabilizes the bond, she said. It prevents us from dying, if separated. But it also joins our lives forever. Forever? Marcus asked slowly. As in, yes, she said, not looking away. Your lifespan would match mine. Your heartbeat would match mine. Your fate would be tied to me. If I rise, you rise. If I fall, you fall. Marcus's breath stilled. Immortality. Or death. No in between. Princess, the Imperial General shouted. You cannot perform the binding ceremony with a human. If you do, the people will reject you. The Emperor will exile you. Sierra straightened, her glowing aura almost too bright to look at. Then let him try. The general fell silent. Marcus stared at her. Sierra, this is your life, your throne, your entire future. Don't throw it away for me. She moved closer, placing her palm on his chest. The touch sparked with golden light. I am not throwing anything away. You saved me. You protected me. You gave your blood for me. I will not allow anyone human or Velon to take you. Marcus swallowed hard. You're talking like someone who has already chosen, she said, voice trembling. I will not lose you, Marcus Drake. The words hit him like a shockwave. Before he could answer, the chamber shook violently. The floating platform spun faster. The core's energy thickened, swirling into a vortex above them. "It is time," Sierra whispered. "We must go to the binding platform." She pointed to a rising platform in the center of the room, glowing gold, humming with ancient power. Marcus nodded once. "Then let's move." They stepped onto the platform. Together. Silver chains of light wrapped gently around their wrists. The room dimmed. The core grew silent. Then a voice only the two of them could hear whispered, "One blood, one breath, one destiny." Sierra lifted her glowing hand toward Marcus. "Marcus, when we link our hearts, you must not pull away. If you hesitate, the bond will break, and we both die." He stared into her bright violet eyes, now filled with a mixture of fear and something more tender. "I'm not going anywhere," Marcus said softly. "You're stuck with me." Her lips trembled almost a smile. She placed her hand over his heart. He placed his hand over hers. Their bond pulsed once, twice, then burst into a column of white gold fire. Marcus felt his heartbeat merge with hers. He felt her fear, her hope, her strength, and something deeper, hidden under all of it. She felt his steady determination, his guilt, his courage, his protectiveness. Their minds brushed for a moment, an intimate spark that neither expected. Then, silence. But the ceremony wasn't finished. A shadow moved behind them. Marcus felt it instantly. His instinct screamed. When a destined form, he spun. Too late. A separatist assassin had slipped into the chamber while everyone else stared at the ritual. His armor was jet black, built for silence, and his blade glowed with anti-bond venom, a weapon crafted for one purpose: kill the human, break the bond, destroy the princess. The assassin leapt. Marcus pushed Sierra aside, but the blade plunged into his ribs. The shock tore through Marcus like fire. The energy of the bond flared wildly. Sierra screamed, clutching her side in the same spot the blade entered him. Marcus collapsed to his knees. The assassin raised his blade again for a killing blow. Sierra's scream changed from fear to something ancient. A roar of energy exploded from her. White fire erupted from her body. The assassin disintegrated into ash. Marcus struggled to breathe, his vision fading. Sierra dropped beside him, cradling his head in her arms. Her tears glowed like liquid starlight. "Marcus, stay with me, don't leave. Don't leave." He tried to smile. "Not planning to," but his voice faded. The bond flickered. Sierra's power surged again, cracking the floor beneath them. She pressed both hands to his wound, glowing intensely. "No," she cried. "You will not die. You hear me? You will not die." The core answered her. Light swallowed them both. Be a spored bun. And Marcus drifted into darkness, connected to her heartbeat, but fading fast. The princess ascends, and she takes him with her. Darkness wrapped around Marcus like a cold ocean. He floated somewhere between life and death, unable to move, unable to open his eyes, yet still aware of one thing: a heartbeat. Not his, hers. Princess Sierra's heartbeat pounded through the bond, loud and desperate, fighting to pull him back. Each beat felt like a hand grabbing him from the void. "Marcus, please, come back." Her voice echoed in his mind, trembling with fear and fury. He tried to answer but couldn't form words. He felt his blood slowing, his lungs burning, his body shutting down. But then, something powerful surged through him. Warmth, light, and a pulse that shook the very air. Sierra was pouring her life into him, her power, her soul, her destiny, the real world. While Marcus drifted toward death, the core hall was a storm of cosmic fire. Sierra knelt on the glowing floor, her hands pressed over Marcus's wound as ancient energy flowed from her palms into his chest. Her hair floated around her like a silver halo, her tears drifting upward instead of down, caught in the rising energy. The celestial veins inside her had fully awakened light, streaked across her skin, like constellations, pulsing brighter with every heartbeat. The Imperial General watched in awe. She is ascending beyond any royal level, recorded. The Separatist survivors cowered, trembling in fear. She is becoming something impossible, something unstoppable. Sierra didn't hear them. All she saw was Marcus. All she felt was his fading life. "No," she whispered, voice cracking. "You are not leaving me. Not after everything. Not after destiny brought you into my life." She lowered her head to Marcus's forehead, trembling. "You gave me your blood. Now I give you my life." The core answered with a deep hum, the sound of stars trembling. Energy erupted from Sierra's body, forming a massive sphere around them both. The ground shook. Cracks spread through the floating platforms. Ancient symbols blazed to life across the chamber walls. The Emperor arrived at that exact moment, tall, imposing, wearing a crown of white fire. He stepped into the chamber and froze. His daughter, glowing like a living star, knelt over the dying human. "No," he whispered. "Sierra, what have you done?" But before he could take another step, the core flared again, shaking the entire palace. Inside the bond, Marcus suddenly felt warmth flooding his body again. His heart fluttered, then beat harder. His breath returned in sharp, ragged bursts. He heard her voice clearly now. Marcus, you promised you wouldn't leave. He forced his eyes open and saw her. Sierra glowed like a goddess. Not the delicate princess he saved, but something stronger, older, more powerful. Her eyes were pure white light, swirling like galaxies. Her face was streaked with tears not of weakness, but of fierce love and fear. Sierra, Marcus whispered. She sobbed when she heard him. Marcus, Marcus, stay with me. He tried to sit up, wincing, but she held him gently. Her touch was warm, almost burning with power. You saved me, she whispered. Now I save you. The bond pulsed again. This time, he felt not just her emotions, but her memories. Her childhood, her loneliness, her duty, her fear of becoming a ruler without a heart, her wish for someone who would see her as more than a symbol. And then, her memory of him entering the chamber for the first time. Her heartbeat quickened in the memory. Marcus froze, stunned. Sierra, from the beginning? She pressed her forehead against his. Yes, I felt something the moment you carried me, something I was never meant to feel. The ascension. The Emperor finally stepped forward. Sierra, stop this, he roared. You cannot bind your soul to a human. You will destroy the throne, destroy yourself. Sierra rose slowly, still holding Marcus's hand. Her feet hovered inches above the ground, her hair floating like silver fire. I will destroy nothing, she said. I will save everything. By mixing your blood with his? The Emperor spat. You have doomed your lineage. No, she whispered. I have fulfilled it. The Emperor raised his hand. His armor glowed with royal energy. Sierra, step away from the human. Marcus tried to stand, but Sierra placed a hand on his chest. Stay behind me, princess. My place is here, she said softly. With you. The Emperor's power surged. If you complete the bond, you become something unrecognizable to our people. Something they will fear. Sierra's eyes glowed even brighter. Then let them fear me. The room fell silent. She floated upward, carrying Marcus with her not physically, but through the bond. He felt lighter, stronger, alive with her energy. The core spoke for the final time. The princess has chosen her bearer. The throne has chosen its future. White fire spiraled around Marcus and Sierra, encircling them completely. The Emperor staggered back in shock. No, the core cannot. But it did. The final surge of energy burst outward like a supernova. When the light faded, Sierra descended slowly, her aura dimming but steady. Marcus stood beside her, taller, healed, and glowing faintly with silver veins that matched hers. The Emperor stared in horror. What? What have you become? Sierra lifted Marcus's hand gently. We are one, she said. By blood, by destiny, by choice. Marcus stepped forward, facing the armies. I didn't ask for this, but I'm not running from it. Sierra squeezed his hand, and I will not let him go. The core sealed the bond with one final whisper. Embrace your future, Empress of Two Worlds. Gasps filled the room. Empress. Sierra had ascended. And Marcus now, bound to her soul, her life, and her destiny, would rise with her. The Emperor lowered his head in defeat. The separatists fell silent, realizing their rebellion had failed. The Imperial soldiers knelt, and Sierra turned to Marcus, tears of relief shining in her glowing violet eyes. We survived, she whispered. Marcus brushed a strand of silver hair from her face. Together. Behind them, the core faded to darkness. Ahead of them, two worlds waited, and destiny had only just begun.